What's up, cows? It's your favorite Nephilim back at it again with a React Andy. This time round, apparently OffKai, they apparently showed 18, well, supposedly, apparently, maybe showed 18 plus material to people who were not 18 plus, aka minors. So, yeah, the thing that said that, you know, all the people are saying that, oh, this wasn't gonna happen. Guys, you're making a big deal of nothing. Oh, OffKai's safe. Yeah, that thing that said that wasn't gonna happen, that doesn't happen, happened. Amazing, isn't it?
Hey, what's up, guys? Vermire here. So in this video, we'll be talking about the very troubling situation involving the VTuber convention OffKai Expo. Now, this convention has...
I don't know. I don't know about you, but I never go to conventions to begin with. I don't have that kind of money. I have no intention of ever going to a really convention. Unless I have like 100 grand in my bank account.
Been mired in controversy in the past for blacklisting creators like Kirsha over wrongthink. However, with this year's convention, there are many featured guests that are very problematic in their own right and hypocritical, as we'll see later on in this video. But this year's convention is mainly mired in controversy because there is adult content being featured in open spaces of the convention where...
Yep. And again... Guys, listen, it'll be fine. Nothing's gonna happen. It'll all be protected. Right. Yeah. Just like how Cuties is available on Netflix.
Minors as young as 13 are allowed to walk around freely. Now, adult content being present at a VTuber anime-related convention is nothing surprising, but typically those sorts of areas are walled off and they require some form of ID or verification to get in, but with OffKai Expo, those as young as 13 can enter those areas, and that is the main concern. Back in May, there was an announcement from OffKai announcing...
Man, to think that was in May. Feels like that was like 4 months ago. Internet moves quick, huh?
Seeing that one of their biggest sponsors is Fansly, which...
Now, in fairness, like the VTuber fan base, they are like 15 to 16-year-old plus. But still, it's not a good look under the idea that like you're having a bunch of 15 and 16-year-olds. At the least, you know, being able to go to a convention that's sponsored by Fansly, a specifically 18 plus website where the more money you give somebody, you get to see them climax more.
Which of course is a platform that hosts adult content, and people were immediately annoyed by the fact this sort of sponsor is featured at a convention like this, but there's a much more serious concern as pointed out in replies like this, saying kids walk around during the day. Surely this is not being done while kids are around, correct? Surely we're really not going to put adult content in front of children, right? Well, unfortunately, that's exactly what's happening.
No way! That's crazy! Hey, yo, OffKai is there too? Yeah, fuck that guy.
As you can see from the layout of the main hall, the expedition hall here, you can see Fansly right smack dab in the middle.
Bro, what do you mean? What do you mean it's right next to GamerSupps? Like, GamerSupps has, like, lewd stuff, but it definitely does not... It has lewd stuff, but there's nothing 18 plus about it. And then you have the fans that are right next to them. I don't know what Grand Archive is, Aegis Link is, I don't know what any of that other stuff is. I know what Kawa Entertainment is. I mean, Kawa Entertainment, that's just an anime company from what I remember, right? Or no, wait, maybe you're thinking of a different company. I don't know. Yeah, definitely very interesting though to have that have Fansly, the Fansly booth right there. Also, fun fact, OffKai also does 18 plus stuff.
Middle of everything.
In which case, for those that don't know, it's this freak right here. It's this guy. Yeah, fun fact, actually, if you don't have enough viewers when you go to contact him to be on your website, guy's a complete douchebag.
And what makes this very disturbing is the fact that minors as young as 13 are allowed in this portion of the convention as long as they have...
Wow, amazing! The thing that they said wouldn't happen, happened.
Parents with them, or they have a minor consent form filled out. Only in California.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure those things are, well, I'm pretty sure that any teenager with access to the internet knows how to fake those.
California. ladies and gentlemen, is something like this allowed to exist? Now, of course, this whole problem could be avoided by simply banning minors from this convention. I mean, why wouldn't they just do that in the first place? But instead...
Well, it's because we kind of know, like, the average VTuber fan base is usually gooners, like 15 and 16-year-old, and they get hook, lined, and sinkered with, well, yeah, at that point, and then they get attached to, like, one of the first, like, 5 YouTubers they see.
Instead, they're allowing minors with these exceptions to walk around.
And the people that are like, you know, 20 and 30-plus-year-old that are VTuber fans are usually pretty weird, from my experience. I don't know, like, well, at least right now, like, the average 30-year-old person that I know that was a fan of me, they were a freak, and I had to ban them.
Around the convention and be exposed to adult content. And as we enter the final day of OffKai Expo 2026,
chose to more than anything. Chose to ban.
Very apparent reality involving this convention has become true. You can see Fansly promoting their booth saying, OffKai is open if you're a creator.
Find your Oshi on fansly.com/VTuber. Isn't that amazing?
Collect your free swag bag before they're gone. If you're not a creator, come say hi anyway. We don't bite. Your favorite VTuber is probably at our booth today. Come verify that for yourself. And of course, people are just...
And what are they doing at the booth? Did they do anything special? Winky face?
Again, not very enthused to see this sort of platform being a featured sponsor of this event. But as people are going around the convention, they are seeing that this booth is front and center at the Expedition Hall, which again is open for minors as young as 13. And things would get even more troubling, as pointed out in this tweet, where there is a QR code you can scan with no account required whatsoever, no verification.
Amazing. I actually recognize one of those people there. I think that's also Camellia. It's quite funny that Camellia is considered a Fansly creator, even though that she self-proclaims that she does not like 80+ content or her character getting fucked, yet she posts stuff on there. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that amazing? Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Maybe I'm thinking of Chibi Doki. Or maybe I'm thinking of the fact that, like, Camellia doesn't want, like, straight sex stuff in her because she's pansexual, if I remember. I don't know. Doesn't matter. You know why this is happening? You know why that OffKai is getting away with this, especially in California? Because this is just trying to become the new norm. Sexuality, women just being degenerates and exposing themselves constantly wherever they go has been something trying to be normalized for at least, like, the last, let's say, like, 10 years at the least. It's been definitely becoming more and more normal for women to be wearing sexually revealing outfits. Why is that? Because prostitution. Because prostitution. That's literally what it revolves down to, is that these women, they want an easy bag, and if they get an easy bag by having sexy sex cloth off, then yeah. Hey man, if I was a woman, I'd be doing the same thing too. Ish. I don't think I would be flaunting myself to be basically naked in public. To be nearly exposing my cheeks at a shopping mall. I don't know about doing that myself. I don't know, I'm not a woman though, so no way to ever find out, no way to tell.
No vetting process whatsoever that opens up some of the related VTubers at this convention, and obviously I can't play through the video this user provided, going through the various links and videos provided.
I mean, you can pretty much tell that straight away. It's probably some sussy stuff.
But of course, to give you a very...
I mean, after all, like, one of the first 6 pictures here is a woman doing an ahe gal face. Sorry, a VTuber doing an ahe gal face. And anyone that has any idea what that means, you already know what you already know. Those that know versus those that don't know.
Description of what we're looking at. You have one VTuber with stuff on her face describing self-pleasure. Another one basically doing a striptease. Another one doing a job, ASMR, and also many other...
For real? For free?
lewd content, including real-life content, not just VTubers, but all of this stuff.
And of course, this is allowed, and OffKai's getting away with this because, well, they probably have like some deals with the people that are on this very page. Like if somebody subscribes to them through this page or follows them through this page, that Fansly probably gets a cut.
Stuff obviously extremely not safe for work, which again is something you can access as young as 13, walking through this convention with no account required, no verification process whatsoever. Again, this stuff is not too surprising.
Now, let's be real. Let's be honest. Anyone that's like above the age of like 15, they are like probably gooning. Now, the fact is that you should not supply them with the material to goon with. But they do indeed do it. That shouldn't be easily accessible material to them, though. And that shouldn't be something, again, you're flaunting around at conventions. Who knows? There could be a poor 13-year-old Christian boy going to OffKai to see his favorite VTuber, the Megalodon. And he's a wholesome little guy. But then he sees the fancy creator booth. And then he becomes a degenerate. Nah, but it is really strange, though. Why have that there? That's just the question. Just why? Why?
At a VTuber anime-related convention, but the fact that it's so accessible to minors is the problem. All this could have been avoided if they just made the convention itself 18+, or they restricted access to this booth to the yabai market, which is 18+. They could have just done that, but instead, they're allowing it in the Expedition Hall. And of course, you think back to these sort of standards OffKai Expo has, and it goes back to Kirsha. Kirsha was supposed to be a featured guest with a panel at OffKai Expo a few years ago, and I covered this in a video back then, but she was blacklisted from this event. She lost her panel, although they allowed her to continue to go to the events and also buy a ticket.
Yeah. What's the purpose of being allowed to go to an event that you are not banned to host yourself on? That's so weird.
But not be a featured guest, which is incredibly greedy and ridiculous. But
I kind of believe that OffKai is actually struggling to make enough money to support themselves and exist, which is why they are having or choosing to partner with Fansly, because Fansly has given them a big pocket of coin to be there, and that has allowed them to continue to exist.
But she was banned over wrong think, where after...
Because, well, I guess banning... I guess they're not making enough money by the creators that already exist there, so they have to get progressively more and more lewd and more NSFW in order to exist. That's my theory, though.
My game theory. Of some of the people behind this convention, they revealed that basically some of her tweets were a little too problematic, a little too wrong think for this convention. And I remember one of the examples that they provided right here was her labeling her Discord pronouns as Burger Queen, mocking the fact that Discord is trying to force pronouns.
Yeah, I identify as vamp/cow, and if you have a problem with that, you're gonna have to take it up with my manager.
Pronouns into people's bios. But then we have all this nonsense involving this year's convention, featuring VTubers like Kawaii Grin here, who had this to say: meet and greet tomorrow at 1 p.m., but I'm in the Fansly booth all day today if you want to say hello. Ovulating, by the way, which...
Oh, bro. Oh, how can you even tweet that and smile in the picture? That's... What? Bro, what is wrong with you?
A ridiculous and insane...
By the way, as someone that does kind of watch this woman occasionally, she's incredibly mid. Like, I would say that she's like a 5 out of 10. There's definitely way better people that exist than her.
Same thing to say before not only doing a meet and...
But, like, you know, with all that makeup on, she's like a 4.
As a VTuber, but doing it not even as a VTuber.
Watching her, 5.
In the flesh. Like,
out of 10.
VTubing? Is this what we're doing? Like, yeah, this already annoys a lot of people, but then this is the focus. But when I looked at this account, I was like, this looks really familiar. And of course, it's because, well, I made a video about this VTuber a couple of years ago. You can see the title, Hypocritical VTuber Risks Career, Slandering Body Pillow Company. So here's the...
let me guess. She had an issue with a cuddly octopus with the lolly body pillows. But I take it she also liked a fair amount of lolly tweets. That is my guess, because I have not watched this video, but it wouldn't... that sounds like it would be the case. Also, a little annoyed by that, because, like, I do agree there was, like, some pretty weird body pillows on, like, Daki, what was it called again? Cuddly Octopus? Yeah, there's, like, a couple weird body pillows in Cuddly Octopus. For instance, Nahida being pregnant. Why? I mean, that website in general, they have, like, a fetish for just, like, making multiple characters. Any character you can think of, just giving them a pregnant form. I don't get it. Not me. But there were definitely, like, a couple of other body pillows where it was just petite women. But those had to get taken down because of the whole controversy, which is Elriz. Because I was going to buy them one day.
The context, a little trip down memory lane here. They called out a company called Cuddly Octopus. They're one of many.
What do you know? I knew it.
To fall into this same pattern of behavior, by the way. Cuddly Octopus sells body pillows for VTubers, and Kawaii Grin decided to make a public post calling them out and just outright slandering them, saying that they're selling literal CP because they believe some of the characters depict...
I mean, I can tell you, before they took down a lot of the stuff, there were some pretty weird things, but again, all I had to do was just not look at it and just interact and look at the stuff that I was into or I cared about. But nowadays, though, everyone's got to always like stage a cancellation campaign, because heaven forbid a website has some things on it that you don't like. This website that exists, it has to have only things I like on it.
We're underage.
So you know what? I think I'm gonna start a petition now. We should cancel Cuddly Octopus again. There's not enough brown ladies on there. Yeah, there's not enough brown ladies with like both big and small booba. We should give them a piece of our mind.
And being depicted in not safe for work situations, and we're mocking people who disagreed with this notion. Now, reminder, this is back in 2023 when likes were still public on Twitter.
And then Elon Musk made likes not public because he would say things, and people would also call Elon for liking things after saying he disagreed with like said thing that existed. I can't quite remember what, but yeah.
And wow, what a better era.
I think it should just be an option. I don't understand why it's just completely removed altogether. It should be an option whether or not people can see your likes. Because then we have funny situations like these.
So much more fun back then.
I don't even know what's going to happen, but I'm sure it's going to be funny.
Listed likes of all these people virtue signaling about fictional content and immediately expose them as massive hypocrites consuming the exact same content they're trying to slander people over on Twitter. But anyways, I tried to warn them, right, when they initially made their call-out post, which of course is now deleted, where I said, your likes are public, like, come on, LMAO, but...
Damn, this is when she only got like 136 likes in 17 hours. That's crazy. It's amazing that she was able to start a motion to actually get the website in trouble and then have to take down like a bunch of different document.
They did not listen, so I went forward with a video, not just because of the tweet, but because of a subsequent stream where she would crash out, call me out by name, mock me as basically irrelevant, and try to excuse...
Aw, isn't that cute? She used the rice gum language.
Her behavior because A, she doesn't know anything about anime and manga, and B, it was only like one character that she was unfortunately caught with in her likes, which is a outright lie. So I want to watch a small portion of this video with you guys because it's really a great trip down memory lane, and it shows not only the hypocrisy of this VTuber, but as someone who slanders companies in the past, somehow getting to work with OffKai Expo when that same convention banned Kirsha over wrong thing, including jokes about pronouns. But let's get right into it. Rev, what do you have to say?
Now, before he continues, I will say again, The weirdest thing on Cuddly Octopus that I can remember is Pregnant Nahida from Genshin Impact. That was really weird. I think that thing got taken down. I can't say we're missing anything out about that. But the idea of supposedly the acceptable definition, the generally accepted definition of lolly is that it's basically just like petite women who are also short. I don't know about you, but it's like 50-50. Sometimes that is actually the definition, and then like the other half of the time, it is actual just children. Like I can't remember her name. The stupid purple dragon girl from Dragon Maid. That's like, yeah, so like 50% of the time, it's actually just, okay, woman is short. Woman has small breasts. According to internet definition, lolly. But then also under internet definition of lolly, you literally have, you literally have, what's her name? The purple dragon girl from Dragon Maid. I can't even remember her name. Kana! Yeah, Kana's weird. 500-year-old dragon lolly girl still acts like a child. That's just the child, bro.
Yeah.
If that was on there too, I would not be upset if that's gone.
Like some people who are like open lolly lovers or open people who like lewd lollies or are like pedos, basically.
Like you, by your own standards.
Like, bro, your likes are public. Your likes are public.
They are.
And I don't be liking anything fucking sussy. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what this I'm being reminded of a fucking terrible memory of when I saw, like, some weird-ass, like, Mabel... If I can't remember what's his name. It's Mabel and, like, the brother from Gravity Falls, and for whatever reason... I don't know, I was, like, doom-scrolling on Twitter, and I saw this stupid ass... stupid ass? Say the good... grotesque, disturbing art piece of, like, Mabel's brother with a gigantic penis just fucking his sister, and it was so weird. I wish I blocked that person. I just kind of scrolled past it and forgot about it. As best as I could. But the memory of me seeing that still exists. Thankfully, I think I've blocked out the image. Anyways.
So they did screenshot some, and I do feel fucking terrible.
She feels
honestly,
terrible.
Because I didn't even realize, like, some of the characters were underage.
Well,
they're fictional characters to begin with, so who really cares what their age is unless they are acting like a child? Technically, Ria's Vermire is considered a child from High School DxD, even though, because, you know, she's 16. Even though she doesn't really act like one, and she has big-ass tits, and she's also a demon. But according, you know, because the age in said anime for said character is, below 18, that's really bad. And never mind the fact that she's not real whatsoever. And this was a character developed by a bunch of grown men. Or at least, not even a bunch of grown men. Designed by a bunch of grown men? Yeah. Actually, no. Technically. Technically, animator-wise. Or more than anything, though, like the average quote-unquote lolly character, they were usually made by, like, a dude in his 20s. And again, it's fictional. Oh no, guys. Oh no. The fictional character, they're not above the age of consent in the United States. Oh. Why do you care that much? It's not real, man. Unless we're talking about, like, again, Kana from Dragon Maid, in which case, yeah, fair point. Or, like, Nahida. Again, that's, like, also a fair point, because Nahida is supposedly, oh, guys, she's 500 years old, it's okay! No, literally, she actually is the definition of what I would call an illegal lolly.
Well, first of all, Your Honor, I didn't know they were underage, and of course, this is
I didn't know! Okay, who cares? They're fictional to begin with.
Right? She's calling people.
Technically, also, Hu Tao is a lolly. Some people consider her a lolly. What I say is those people are retarded, because Hu Tao needs to be a lot shorter for her to be considered a lolly.
People predators over fictional content and saying this company is selling body pillows featuring CP, and her excuse when she gets caught with that stuff in her likes is that she didn't know any better, but
you know what I bet? I bet you she watched Cuties from Netflix and had a wonderful time watching it, if you know what I'm saying. Winky face.
As I will point out in this video, it's pretty clear that she's a massive hypocrite. I'm going to do you a favor here. and get you a whole host.
That's a lot.
Damn! Oh yeah! Fun fact. Also, Hatsune Miku. Technically, Hatsune Miku, Boji the Rock. Whose Sigma is that? Komi? Yeah, Komi can't communicate. Oh yeah, you won't even have the "Don't bully Nagatoro senpai." Yeah, those are all underage guys.
So technically, if you enjoy looking at anything in SFW from them, you're a predator in her eyes.
I say, what are you, fucking gay? Like, maybe don't bully Nagatoro. I think you know what? I will, like, depending on the artist, I will give you some leniency, whether it's like okay or not. But I mean, come on, I think everybody's have seen Hatsune Miku. The fact is that literally only person that acts like anything remotely like a child is like Nagatoro.
The diet version of what I'm going to do. These are underage characters. There's a lot worse in her likes. There's characters elementary school aged and actual lolicon. But I'm going to start with the high school age character. There's a little compilation, and she'll later...
Now, in English standards, these are what you would call... Yeah, I mean, Hatsune Miku would call her petite. But again, like Bochi... You know, I can just repeat myself, but the fact is that, well, you're going to have a bunch of retards that are just like...
Their age... Their illicit age is not above 18, so in American standards, it's lay bad.
What? It's not real, dude. It's not like, who was it? Who am I thinking of? It's not, who am I thinking of? There was like some OF creator where as soon as they became 18, that they had an OF account. I can't remember who it was. That shit was weird. As far as I remember, though, anyone that has an issue with Lolly, no one ever called that out. Isn't that crazy?
Stage, she doesn't know anything about anime, so I'm going to give her a little bit of a lesson on these characters. So right there, you got...
Everyone seems to believe that as soon as you turn 18, it's some magical number, and you are instantly an evil person if you commit any wrongdoing then, or all your sins are forgiven if you're under the age of 18.
Nagatoro, who is 15, Hatsune Miku, who's 16, Hitori from Bochi the Rock, who is 16, Komi-san, who's between the ages of 15 to 17 in that series. You have Karine from Blue Archive, who is 16, good for her. Spider-Gwen.
Karine is 16? That's crazy. Like, these are fictional characters made by grown men. Who really cares? And they don't really, most of them don't look anything. Most of them don't look like children.
The Spider-Verse era is between 14 to 16 from what I can see. And, you know, every single image on this screen would make her a predator for liking them if you apply her own standards back to her. Now, and then there's the Marin Kitagawa wall as well. But, of course, this goes back to that era with likes being public. It was so easy to expose people spouting off about fictional content and thinking they have the...
Guys, no, you don't get it. I was just liking and retweeting the art because I thought the artist's art was cute.
Okay.
The moral high ground.
Who really cares, but okay.
In reality, they're massive hypocrites, but it gets way worse than that. So that's just kind of a blanket, easy statement right there where it's like...
They're only really hypocrites just because they're just trying to get brownie points from like, the internet.
She says anything that's underage... You're a predator for liking characters depicted in that sort of a way.
Now, if she actually listed like a product from Color Octopus that she had a problem with, that'd be like one thing. But she just said that they had a bunch of like lolly stuff on there, which was bad. Again, you know what would help your case? I don't know. Kana from Dragon Maid being pregnant. I don't know if there was on there. I don't know if that was on there, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Nahida being pregnant. That's also pretty weird. If you listen to that, I think that'd be a bit more understandable. Instead, you're just saying, insert thing here bad.
There is a huge
without listening to any evidence
of screenshots. And by the way, Marin Kitagawa is 15 years old in My Dress Up Darling, just to confirm that. But she also goes on to make other excuses, basically saying the characters she likes are similar in appearance to her VTuber model, and well, that is a standard I don't think she really wanted to bring up because it just makes her look even worse. And drop.
And they're not like little lolly looking avatars either. They're like full-blown art pieces, and they look very well endowed, like women. They look like my avatars.
Well
So I was like,
endowed.
oh, I didn't
And they look like her model.
know.
Wow.
I'm uneducated.
Well, that's quite strange. Your model has big tits. So what makes a lolly then? I thought it's like boobs and height. Is it not? Is it just vibes?
Anime person. I guess that's my fault.
Yeah, so this is the part.
You know what? That actually reminds me of this really corny YouTube video that I watched once where someone was trying to say that Dragon Maid was about a lesbian relationship and how wholesome it was until Kana was involved. Kana got involved on like episode 3. I can't remember who that YouTuber was, but they are a retard.
For the video.
And I don't know if it was about a lesbian relationship or not to begin with. It was just about well, I don't even know what it was about. What am I going to say? I dropped that show because I thought it was shit.
Where I'm just going to put the worst stuff on the screen. These are all elementary school aged characters.
Oh no, not Ilya! Oh no!
And /or hardcore lolicon. I will
Now, Ilya? That is arguably pretty freaky, dog.
spare you the description here, but like most of these characters
I'm not sure who that character is, but also, yeah, pretty, that's a little sussy. Oh, that one's also a little sussy, too.
are in elementary school or middle school, and she was describing these characters as well endowed and that they looked just like her own VTuber model that is more busty, of course. I mean, it's just insane levels of hypocrisy.
Now, I'm going to judge you if you do enjoy Ilya stuff, but I don't think I would completely cut someone off for it. I would just look at him funny, be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then I would just never want to talk about it again.
And this was really the reason why I made this video back in 2023, because not only did she get caught on Twitter being a hypocrite, but she went on stream like this, making her heart-wrenching soliloquy, defending herself and deflecting any sort of blame, taking zero.
Like, same thing with also Kana and Nahida. I think you would also be pretty weird for that, but if, like, I don't know, as long as you don't got any crimes associated with your name and for everything else about you, usually you're, like, pretty normal, I can look past it.
Accountability, but also name-dropping me as well.
I don't
For the
read
most part.
manga. So
Not
I feel
completely,
fucking
but for the
terrible.
mo-
I
but for
didn't
the
know
most
that
part.
Some of them were underage because they're like well endowed. They look like adults. But that's the thing also. Like, I feel bad. I didn't know they were under, like...
I feel bad. I didn't know. Well, who cares? Like, a lot of them, who really cares? They didn't look anything like a child. That latter half, though? I mean, I don't know. Under your book, you should have known better.
Ev says Desu. Oh, that's like a random account.
Just
That's like a random
account. Well, that
account.
random account is still here in 2026.
The random account with 752,000 subscribers. Meanwhile, with her, how many subscribers does she have? I don't know. I don't watch her on YouTube because I don't think she's that entertaining.
Hawaii grin, and here I am still making YouTube videos, and here you are at OffKai Expo doing a meet and greet for Fansly. How things have evolved over the years, but this all goes back to...
Yeah, it's her main moneymaker. And there is a reason why it's her main moneymaker. There's a reason why she's not making YouTube videos. Put the pieces together.
the standards at OffKai, right? They banned Kirsch over wrongthink, but they allow this person who has a history of slandering companies and being a massive hypocrite and a tourist who doesn't
No, but it's okay, though, because she slandered the right company. She slandered the right company for a wrong thing.
know anything about anime or manga, but calls people predators over the same content she consumes as well from those mediums. It's just insane. It's just insane. It really reflects terribly on this convention. And now she's there working with this booth that is accessible to minors as young as 13. Where's that moral high ground she used to have, right? She would virtue signal about this stuff so hard back in the day, but has no problem working with this convention, knowing full well minors as young as 13 will be walking around and have access to this booth. She is
Simple. She's probably loaning the money. She needs she you know, obviously she's like Frogan, you know, she needs more Uber Eats. She's not getting enough of it.
doing a meet and greet at where she is promoting herself in a very let's just say risque sort of way, not to mention the fact that we have the whole QR code situation. But yeah, this is a terrible look. I'm not some prude. I'm sorry. Like, I am not some prude for saying that VTuber and anime conventions should have guardrails in place to prevent minors from accessing adult content. Is that...
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like my Discord server. If you want to have access to any of that, bro, you're going to need to send some identification. Like, there's very few cases where I will actually believe that I won't need to see that. Like, the few cases is quite literally, well... You know what? I'm not going to list that because I don't want to give people ideas. But there are very, very few cases where I will give you some trust. And most of the time, and basically that trust is, well, obviously behavior. Behavior is definitely a part of it. But I mean, there's like, what is it? How many people have I done that for? Like maybe 3. Yeah, like 3 people. But again, you know, I don't just trust random people that I've like barely ever talked to really, to have access to that. You got to send some identification.
That woke of me? Is that too woke of me?
Basically, the people I've had trusted, they are like, I've known them for like 2 years and we've constantly talked in calls.
Like, it's so simple. They should have made this an 18+ convention, or at the very least, made this sort of stuff in the yabai market, which is supposed to be for adults. The reason why they didn't do that flabbergasts me. I don't understand why they wouldn't do that in the first place. It seems...
money.
Totally irresponsible.
Money. And they know they can get away with it, and no one's really going to care. Or, well, the people that do care, they believe weren't going to give them money to begin with, or they aren't a majority that will be giving them money.
Hey, that's the situation we're in now, and as they conclude their...
I mean, that's what it revolves down to with, like, most companies, is that they do things because they believe that it's going to get them money, or whatever they're doing isn't going to affect the amount of money that they make. Which is exactly what's happening with OffKai here.
Convention, I hope it was all worth it, because their reputation has continued to take a massive blow thanks to their antics this year. But that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please consider giving the video a like, consider subscribing, and turning on notifications for daily uploads, as well as multiple streams every week live here on YouTube. But overall, hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Yeah, if you enjoyed that, you should be sure to give Revs' Desu a like, comment, subscribe there. You can like, comment, subscribe on this video too. What did we find out? Well, Qui-Grin, hypocrite, and, well, unsurprising that she is doing what she's doing now.